Okay, let's do this.
Right.
Right, we're back. we're
Again.
continuing with the refactoring. It's a slow cook, but
Yep.
that's okay.
So we talked about Magnar's podcast episode over at what's formerly known as the Closure Stream podcast, but now has a new name, but I cannot remember what that new name is.
Ooh, I always think of it as the Closure Stream podcast. Fair
Yes.
enough, yeah. If is it not called the Closure Stream podcast anymore?
I don't think it is.
Oh right,
Um,
okay. We'll have to get with it. This is very bad, Eric.
yes.
We're letting ourselves down here, letting the community down. Yeah. What are people going to think? It's crazy. But
Uh, it is Closure Stream.
that's what I said.
Yeah. Oh, it was the Closure Script stream or something. It
Oh,
used to be
okay.
something else.
Okay, no, I don't think
Um,
so. I think it's been the Closure Stream podcast forever.
mm, I care to disagree, but that's fine.
Fine.
Uh,
Okay. Okay.
but
But
anyways,
yeah.
Magnar was talking about how they did their imperative shell functional core kind of thing,
Yeah.
and he described um, in a way what is their take on CQRS.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that basically they have so they're mainly deving a no, it's not really a SPA, but it's a mix between like what we're doing here, where we're rendering everything on the server and they're doing some of the rendering client side as well. But what he was saying was that they
I mean, we'll
have
eventually get to that sort of thing, won't we? We
yes,
know that is coming.
we know
So
that that is coming.
yeah.
But what he said was that they basically have a command endpoint and they have a query endpoint. So query
Mm-hmm.
lets you query data from the database,
Mm-hmm.
and commands are things that affect the world in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
And then he said something like they have data structures to represent what the commands are. So you can actually read this out. Looking at the code that we have here, it's kind of hard to see which one of
Yes.
these are actually doing anything, and it's also hard for
Mm.
us to enumerate the commands that this system actually
Mm.
performs.
Mm. I mean, I think a lot of routers will have things like they will separate the gets and the posts, you know,
Hmm.
which we could do that, for example. We could, because we know whether the requests are like posts or gets. But I
Yep.
agree that that is not really good enough. I think it would be much nicer if we had, a place where we could look and find what, we can say, okay, we've got a command, then we can go and look at what those commands are. And I think that will generally be a lot nicer because this is a sort of a mix of routing and other things. It's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yep.
So we could definitely do with a bit of a tidy up, a bit of a
Yep.
declutter. Yeah.
Yep. So
And I really like
I
the.
don't.
I think we both are sort of fans of this data first approach. So it's nice to. I would. We've talked about it before, and we'll definitely at some point get one or both of those guys on to help us to integrate their code, or at least to take inspiration from their approach, because I think it would definitely be helpful.
Yep.
I personally think that it's the way to go. It might not be. We might not adopt everything that they're doing completely because they're obviously at the moment dealing with a bigger set of systems. But I feel like we know that this is going to grow. So, while on the one hand we don't want to be going too far ahead and adopting too many things that will, let's say, protect us in 6 months or a year. On the other hand, I feel like setting the groundwork for something that is solid, like the way they're doing it makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And one thing that so one thing about having this as data is that you can also sort of serve it out.
Yeah.
Like you can actually make an endpoint where you say, "Oh, these are my commands, and this is all the stuff that's needed," and such.
I mean,
Not saying we should do that, but
no.
it
I
is
mean,
something that is
yeah. I mean,
interesting.
you have to be a bit careful about that because, you can overcook it and you end up just reinventing Open API. You know,
Yep.
and I think we should make a choice. We're either going to do it the way we're going to do it, like which is more bespoke, let's say, or you go full Open API. To me, Open API is useful if you actually make an API that not only you are going to consume, but other people are going to consume. But it
Mm.
feels like complete overkill for like an internal, what is essentially a small private system that we
Yep.
want to grow, but I don't think we want to extend it to third-party clients, not for a long time. And if that day comes, then I imagine that taking a thing that is data, based on data, would be fairly easy to morph into an Open API spec anyway.
Yes, exactly. Much easier than what we have here, at least.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. In fact, it's one of the things that sort of always, things like rate it and stuff like that. That's one thing. And what's the other one? The spec one, Mali. It's one of those things which always like is a bit awkward with those tools in the sense that they mix all those things together. Then they have a whole bunch of like post processes to make those things available, but you kind of have to follow a certain pattern to make it happen. And yeah, I mean, I feel like that's sort of something a little bit to avoid at the moment, because I think we just want to cook it a little bit ourselves, get the data format according to our own needs, and then maybe we can evaluate the different like things that are out there that are like have a bunch of pre-cooked things later down the line.
So, I was wondering if we should just start with this reset token and see what kind of command would that be?
Great. Yeah, great idea. Yeah.
Um,
I think
so
what we were thinking about was there are essentially two sets of commands, aren't there? There are sort of authenticated commands and unauthenticated commands.
yeah,
So maybe we can have reset token and sign up. I think those two would probably be quite nice.
yeah. Should we? Yeah.
But we can do reset token first. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we then start with just saying authenticated true?
Yeah, you're missing an N, but other than that, yes. Yeah.
So it should be authenticated, and let's have a look at it needs to have that's basically all it needs to have.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, in some ways, it needs an email. Now, arguably, if they're authenticated, it has an email. Is that what we're thinking?
So if it's authenticated, it has a like let's keep it at that for now. So it
Okay. Yeah.
that's yeah.
Yeah.
So what would our thing be? What's the endpoint name? Is it do it or do
I don't
or
think do or do. I think those are kind of like, yeah, they feel
execute?
they feel a bit horrible.
Execute?
Execute feels a bit French Revolution, which I'm all for, these days especially. But it's like,
What about the Spanish Inquisition?
nobody expects them. I think command. I think just something boring like command is really good.
Okay.
It's sort of like tells us what it is, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that would be a function.
I think we have to
Well,
say
I
command
need.
URI at least, don't we? I think that's what we're
Hey.
saying.
Yeah.
If it's the URI, yeah.
And for now, let us. Can we say execute of
At the moment, we have this data thing coming back, don't we?
yeah,
So
but
maybe if
let's
we
worry about that a little. Yes, but I'm
we
I'm
could,
I'm a
and what I was
bit
going to
worried
say, we
about
can have
that.
a data thing coming back that says, not working yet or something,
Yeah. Um,
Oh, okay. Is it like that? Okay. Ew, you got your friend with you.
yep.
Okay.
And let us
Nice.
it's under
Okay.
construction.
It's under construction.
Yes. So, if we go to our, I guess we should have an input type hidden, and its name should be
Command, I
action
suppose.
command.
Yeah.
Yep. And its value should be reset token.
Yep. That seems perfect.
Um, and we can hop back and we can say, and I have no, in the olden days, you could say like,
You can say
show
view
page.
page. You can say view page. Yeah.
Yeah. And it now has it's very
Yeah.
small down here.
Yeah, it's good.
Probably.
Yeah, I think most people can see it. Yeah.
Right. So input name command, type hidden, reset token.
Mm-hmm.
So let us,
Yeah.
what's keyword of nil?
It's just nil.
That's nil. Good. So then we can say like this. No, we have to
That's okay.
reload that one.
That's all right. I mean, yeah. That's going to be the right answer.
I didn't fix
Yeah.
this one.
You're not going to command here, yeah.
This is true. Yes,
Hmm.
that's good.
Yeah.
Um, and I guess now we could make something called execute command or something.
Maybe use evaluate command.
Ooh. Oh, we could have had the endpoint be eval.
Yeah, maybe. I yeah.
And
Commands command.
yep. Or we could even do since that's a keyword, we can do
I'm not quite sure what you're doing here, to be honest. Where this command is coming from.
it's here.
Oh, I'm cracking up. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So and let's bang it. Uh, so we have a command.
You're gonna have to do a bang on it as well, Eric,
Okay.
to stay with your name.
And um, I would love to do that. Oh. Right. Let's just do. There we go. Now we're back.
Okay,
We happy so far?
that seems good to me. Yeah.
Yep. So,
I'm
um,
guessing at the end of the day, this function, this reset token, this commands list must eventually have some sort of function in it that it wants to
no,
dereference.
that's sort of where I'm curious. Because you could say that, but then you're switch. This is where I'm very undecided right now.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Let's
Um,
let's hear you out. Yeah.
and do you remember, is it here it's nil or is it this is really interesting because the case statement and the cond are different here.
I think case is like cond p in the sense that if you've got nothing, if it doesn't match, then the last thing matches. So you can just put error or something at the end.
Right. We can. Yep, that seems to be working. And like, and this is also sort of halfway, maybe perhaps interesting, depending on your style and taste and stuff. There's a lot of like you could also have done this with a multi-method, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Right, where you say that you dispatch on the ID of the command, and then um, yeah, you could do that. But let's keep it at this for now. Um, and what we know is that
To me,
we
the reason why I would prefer, I mean, okay, I mean we can do it plenty of ways, but the reason why I would prefer to have the function in the map is
yeah,
because I like to do things in one place rather than in several places.
yep. Yeah, but I want to play this out. Let's see where it
Sure, sure,
goes.
yeah.
Yeah, and we know that we have a this becomes a bit weird in a way. This doesn't really pan out for me.
Why doesn't it just get past the request though?
Hey?
Why doesn't it just get past the request handle reset token? Doesn't handle reset
Because
token do all of this kind of destructuring itself?
because it doesn't need a request anymore, right? It doesn't know need like now
Oh
it
yeah, but
can
it can just be an event, can't it? I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't. You know, I think it still is nice to have keys, and then because that makes it flexible. But you don't call it a request anymore. Maybe it's just an event, or it's just like the data. You know, and
right.
it happens to have it happens to have this thing as a request. The thing that's interesting about it to me, the thing that is like maybe is more interesting is like on in this reset token, and I think this is something that Magna was talking about as well. Is like, well, what is the data from the request that you need? So
Yep.
theoretically, in that reset token, you could have, in that reset, you could have a function, for instance, that pulled the data out that was needed,
Yep.
and then then you kind of know that you're not passing on this request if it hasn't got the right data, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, so what we could say is that so we have a command here and just
You're riffing. It's okay. It's vibe coding.
um how is this one? If authenticated of user, if authenticated of command, and not user, then we could do UI.
Error. Yeah.
Oh yeah. What do we have? Yeah, something something. We have something, and then right because now we can just say let here.
Sure. Yeah. And we can just
And
fold
then
those
we,
lets in together, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's one of the nice things, isn't it, about this style, is that the functions themselves become a bit less cautious, you know?
yeah, this one. Yeah. And then this one
It's a bit weird, that error,
doesn't.
isn't it? That it takes the query
Hey?
string. The error pulls the query string out of the thing.
Yeah. But now the reset token message doesn't have to handle the case where it was unauthenticated.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
And mhm, so it needs this one.
Isn't it pulling the query string from the rec?
Yeah, but that's like now it doesn't because that makes it easier with
Oh yeah, it's much better. Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, why does it know
Uh,
about requests? Yeah. I'm getting a bit
so
lost with your editor though. What's
you
the
are, huh?
There we go. Yeah, yeah.
What? Ah, like that. So, and but what we don't know now is so we do the handle, right? And we could now say something like page, and then now I'm gonna do the functiony thingy here, I guess.
I don't know what you're going to do. So,
I'm gonna do UI reset token message.
hmm, okay.
I don't like that because now we're doing something like this.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. One can imagine, for example, that you could do keys page on the command and then just do page, and it would be fine.
Yeah, we could do
I mean, it looks a bit
something like
nicer,
this.
but I mean, you know,
Yeah,
we can see how it plays out, like you said.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then once we have
Yeah, I think that doesn't exist at this point, does it? Or maybe it does. I
mm,
don't know.
it does. This exists. Huh? What happened now? Uh, reset UI, reset token message. It should. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Because now it's like it's very close to doing like you said, right?
Yeah, and I mean, to me, it's a bit simpler like this,
Yep.
in that this evaluate command doesn't know too much, you know,
Yep.
and almost like the case ID is like bullshit as well. It could just be like if you haven't got an ID, like in other words, some ID, case ID or case. You'd say something like if some ID, then you just say page handler request, because one can imagine the case ID where you just have these other things and it's all just page handler requests. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So
So
you could just say like if ID page handler
yeah,
request.
something like this.
Yeah, and then that makes it like super dumb, I think, which is what you
Yep.
want. Yeah.
And then there is so
I
this
mean, it's
one,
screaming for a cond on this one, but okay, we'll go into that a
yeah.
bit later. Okay.
So we still have like we want to compose this up with just do something like this for now.
Sure. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And um, because we're going to see that we're going to need to put this data stuff up into here,
Okay.
right? Because we're going to have some commands which return some data and others which return other things.
Yeah, yeah,
So we
yeah,
need to
yeah,
sort of
yeah.
support the stuff here where we have content, for example. It does a redirect.
Right. Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
redirect true or something, and then
Yep.
yeah.
So let's do like this. And what would be interesting now is to go to our test thing.
Right, right. Run the tests.
And now what did we call this command?
Yeah.
And we have our form params.
We have these hidden things, don't we? So,
Yeah. Um,
but I think
Here we
in
go.
this
I just
case,
need
isn't it, isn't
to,
it, isn't it just like your ones below where you kind of like you? Is it like that? Isn't it?
that's what we have down here, right?
Yeah, but in the first case, you're cheating, so you don't need it. You know.
Yeah, but I still need to, I'm still sending to form param. I'm still sending to my
Oh
command,
yeah,
right?
that's true. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
It's the basic one you need. I mean, this is where the boilerplate that we were talking about last week
yeah.
is getting to be painful now. Yeah.
And if we do like, and
I guess the URI is command as well, Eric.
that's true.
I don't guess it. I know it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Does it actually work? 3 failures. Okay.
Expected. Ah, that wasn't too bad.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
That's actually exactly what we were. So,
Yeah. fact, it's better. It's an improvement on what we had before. So there we are.
Unauthenticated and so what happened? Oh,
Right. So now what
now
are we getting?
what's it saying?
It's basically working, but there's something
There's
slightly different.
um there's something that is, yeah, so basically it's
Ah,
working.
we're getting the data in a twist. That's what the problem is.
Hey? Yeah, we're getting
We're
the
getting embedded data in the data, so we've got our command slightly off. Yeah.
yeah.
The test is right. It's just
Yep.
the function slightly off. Yeah.
So
So we don't need the
right.
UI. We just need the page handler, in fact, because I think that does it at the moment.
Yeah, because the command says data page,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just you're very much correct. But it's actually better to do um
You're right. You're actually right. Yeah. That's better. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and that is because there.
All right.
Yes.
That's quite nice. That is nice. Okay. Well, it's beginning to shape up a little bit.
Yep.
So let's just go back to it again, just to make sure that we're kind of like we're making sense of this thing. Uh, so it's reset token. Okay, handler reset token. Yeah, I mean it's quite nice, isn't it? I mean, basically this little evaluate command is a kind of mini parser. It's I'd quite like to just tidy it up a little bit because like I don't like embedded ifs and best of times. So to
Okay.
me, like a cond would clean this up very nicely.
So we have this one and like that, and then we have like that, and then we have
Yeah, so
else.
I think yeah. You do it like that, do you?
Hey?
You do it like that. I usually, I mean, it doesn't matter. I usually have the things on a separate lines and like the cond on its own line, but
So you
because
like
things tend to spread to the right quite a bit when you get cons going. Yeah, there we go.
something like this?
That reads quite nicely now. I think it's pretty
Yeah.
obvious what's going on. Yeah.
Because the other thing is that, yeah, this is kind of interesting. Hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You just need a white cat now, Eric, and you'll be full on,
Yeah, I'm
full on
so
Bond villain.
um I'll accept this for now, but I'm not super happy with
The UI being
these
in
ones
there.
being
Yeah, yeah.
functions.
Okay.
Um and like I would rather just have them be proper data because now it's like a little bit harder to see what's uh
I mean, the way that normally you do this kind of thing is, I think anyway, is you'd have page with like like again another keyword, then you'd have some sort of map that maps between that interpolates between those keywords like reset token message and the actual function.
Yeah, because I mean, you could have
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the def multi to be honest.
I know.
Yeah,
You could have render page, right?
yeah,
Which took some sort of keyword as its like it could take a command as a first argument
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and some data as the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And you could do that for like also def multi handler, right? So then these ones become then you can just switch on the ID of this.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Um, or you could also have like a now we've used the render. You could do something like this, which takes a command and some args, and then you could have a case on these ones on the commands.
Mm-hmm.
But for now I'm not too unhappy about this.
Yeah, yeah. I think
What
it's
we
like a lot
can
of
do
these,
now,
it's like a lot of these things. Maybe it's what would be worthwhile doing, and you know, because you can overthink these things, you know.
yeah,
So we do the sign up one because we know that's not authenticated. We'll see what effect that has on our evaluator.
yep.
Um,
But the first thing we can do is
yeah,
we can do this.
well, that's good. Yeah, yeah. See if it actually works. Yeah.
Yeah. Now sign up doesn't we don't do signups yet, and we haven't written the test for it. So I would rather do upload
Oh yeah,
content
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, yeah.
so let's see. So ID, of course, one could have this as a list without IDs, and then we could make that list into a map like at runtime and stuff. But yeah.
This is fine.
What do we do here on upload content? Here we actually do a right?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Righty-ho.
I think this is nice in the sense that what we want is we want the because this if the errors thing is a lot of crap in my opinion. So you know it's not great code right now. We just have the redirect page. So redirect. I think you can have redirect true, or you could have redirect as a little map with the page on it, or just the page itself. You know, which is slash
Yeah,
essentially.
let's see where this because yeah.
Okay.
Let's have a look at handle upload. Boo. We do not want this. Or do we? Like,
We
what do
do.
we
We
need?
do. This is all set on it with the router at the moment, isn't it? You know, we
Yeah,
haven't done
it is.
anything. We haven't done anything to select the keys, and to me,
Yeah.
that would be like
So,
that would be super trivial to do. But okay,
but we
you
can
want to you want to
now.
go your own way. That's fair enough. Yeah.
No, no, no. Let's keep it like this for now. But what we can do now is that we can remove the test on user.
Yes.
And then we don't need
The
this one.
horrible. We don't need the horrible do. Yeah.
Um, and let's see where this gets us. Right? And we need to go here.
Nice. Yeah.
And then have we done everything we need to do? Let's just make sure that this one is defined.
The one thing we haven't done is.
Yep.
Sorry, go on. Yeah.
Upload form. So if we press upload here now,
Yeah.
we should get the same unauthenticated thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or no, because we don't have a page and we don't know about the redirect. I have no idea what's happening now.
Well, it's unauthenticated, so it probably should go. Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Command is null. Did you
Let's just,
reevaluate it, maybe?
yeah,
So this shit at the bottom.
okay, so this one's dead.
Looks like you've got a debugger or something.
Uh, form action command. Oh, so
This
it's
thing at the
not.
bottom seems to want to go away. This like little bin that you've got. You should get rid of it or
Yeah,
something. I don't know what's going on there.
it doesn't want to. But anyways, I sort of know. Uh, or do I?
Why? It should be command.
Yes, but the thing is that we are now doing a multi-part thingy.
Mm.
So this is either,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
and I'm unsure if so
So multi-part params has to be available at the top level, obviously. Yeah.
yes. Let's go down to star. Think it's gonna work?
Yeah, I'm betting it will work. Yeah.
Haha!
Yeah.
Excellent. Then we can write a test or fix the test for it, right?
Yep. Yeah. Sounds great. Yeah.
Uh, um, and this is a that's interesting. Wondering if this is correct or not.
Don't we have to have the form params or the multi-part form params now?
Yeah, I'm curious if this test is actually correct because I don't know if this can be pulled out of. Let's figure that out at some point. Um, right. So what are we doing here? We have the URI, blah, 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 timestamp 3, and we want to have part params and command is what was it?
Handle upload or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, or upload content, actually. Upload content.
That's so yeah. And this is expect so they're both right. This is good. This is good.
Well, the first one is pretty boring, isn't it? It's just a matter of fixing the content.
Yeah, the other one is also that.
Yeah.
The reason is that what we're saying now is that we unconditionally render a UI page of this thing. I'm gonna write the ugly one now. If someone might just be like having popcorn and saying that we're reinventing a router now.
I don't
But that's
care.
fine.
I don't care. It's like, we're always, I mean, the whole, I mean, people keep on saying that the wheel doesn't get reinvented, but it kind of does, you know, like the wheel is constantly being reinvented. And
Yep.
I mean, the actual wheel, you know,
Yep.
so it's okay to reinvent things. I mean,
This was boring because I'm sure that there is one super there has to be some sort of super parroted thingy. Uh,
mm,
and you are, of course, right. Right. So this one, yeah, this should actually work.
I'm going to say it's going to fail, but let's see.
This is good.
That's fine. Yeah.
So let's fix that. So we're this one should be The unauthenticated.
I think it would be nice to put them on two lines, by the way, Eric, because it's getting very hard to read on one line. Yeah,
Like this.
yeah.
Oop. Uh-huh. Ha! Should have seen that. We can't have multi-paramos.
Paramos. It's, yeah, I think putting that on two lines as well would be nice, just to make it more legible.
Like that. And that's sort of kind of nice. And this is
It's
where
sort of kind of friggin' amazing, actually. Yeah.
eh?
It's kind of like slightly not right though, is it? Because you know.
Yeah, it's because you were correct. There you go.
It feels pretty horrible though. That code now. But okay, let's we can tidy that up. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be horrible, but it's not.
I mean, to me, having like a redirect as a separate case and then a non-redirect is, with so you have an if you have a basically redirect as one case and ID as the next case, then I think it's all good. You could have and ID, redirect and ID, or just ID.
Um, well, we
Because you've
need to
got you.
have
I
like
don't like having ifs under a cond. I mean, to me, you'd have like and ID redirect and then just
okay,
ID. You know.
right.
Yeah, you don't need the parens there, do you?
Like this.
You don't need the parens anymore around ID. Yeah,
No.
and that, yeah, new line there. Boom. So you're getting, you're getting from you're getting from the broader, the narrower to the broader, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, still feels like there's a bit of too much going on here, but yeah, that's. Maybe, I think it might be enough for now, though. We've been going for an hour. Maybe it's what we
Yep.
should do just to sort of wrap things up for this episode is just do a bit of tidying up on the tests because we said that last week we were going to do that, or we should do that this week, just to sort of. I know we said cleanup test code should be the last thing we do, but I think it maybe it's getting to the point where there's a lot of like mess in the tests.
Yeah.
Ooh, get rid of that as well. Yeah, yeah. The handler star is becoming a bit more nice. Yeah.
Yep. And I just want to do a very quick one. I want to do the sign up first. Can we do that?
I thought we wanted to write tests for it first.
Yeah, but I have it's so easy that
Yeah. Okay, go on then. Yeah.
sign up. It's not authenticated.
No.
It's got a handler, and it is just
Okay. Yeah.
and it is this. And if we go here, so let's then have a look at our sign up form. No, we don't. Yeah, but that's basically what it should look like for now. So we can take away this one.
Right. Right. So if we go to sign up form, what happens?
It just renders a this is a beta, but then we need to have this is a something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I made this a function now.
All right.
Yep, so I think that works nicely as expected. I don't because you should never get there now, and it's if it's broken, it's fine. Let's
Well, we
clean up the
don't
tests.
want it to crash our system, so we should go to the sign up form at least just to make sure that it
Yeah,
doesn't.
but we don't do the sign up form,
It is there.
right? Because you see that it just renders this is a beta,
Yeah.
right?
It's not
That's
very
interesting.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
that's cool. Should we spend 5 minutes then on fixing the tests?
Yeah. 5 minutes, and then I think we'll head off into the night.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to put in my AirPods today.
So did I actually.
Huh.
How's it
Be
hanging? I mean,
interesting.
it seems okay to me actually. I don't know. We'll see how the how the YouTube thing works, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So, that will be whoa.
Oh. Because the head should be closed, actually, Eric, on line 9.
Ah, right. So it's like
Yeah,
there we go.
because it's empty head at the point at this moment.
Yeah. If you want to say something while I'm doing this, I can't both type and
Well, it went pretty quick, so that's good. Yeah.
yep. What else? Um,
I mean, it's sort of funny, but like on the second one on reset token, I would tend to do a let in front of the def test at the top of the def test and say unauthenticated, just to reduce that duplication. But it feels like it's a fairly small win. Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe the inputs would be useful. I don't know. Yeah. I think the Eric Assam 3 ID1 would be, yeah, that would be nice, yeah. Because that's repeated quite a lot. I would even say users because, oh yeah, okay.
yeah. Let's. Yeah, still working.
Wouldn't it be nice just to have like a users that has a map with user Eric
We could do that, but I
rather than
wanted
others
to
because
do
you're
something
repeating a lot
else.
again now.
Um, Good. And then we don't need this, and we don't need this, and we don't need this. And we do need this. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like having like a map which is user with a list that just
Oh,
has
you
no
want to have
directories.
all of them? Yep.
Well, there's only one at the moment, so you can just say
Yep.
users, which has user, and
Like this.
yeah,
Something like that for now.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Looks like unauthenticated is another candidate for being um, factored out. The whole thing, I think, page unauthenticated is going to go there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah,
Whoa. Okay.
yeah. This is how it is when you work with Emacs.
Is it?
Sure, VJ would have told you if you hadn't dumped him.
He dumped me. Yeah, I'm sure that's what he'll tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Nice.
Yeah, still a bit noisy, but I can,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
let's live with that for now.
Hmm. What's the difference between the two? Oh, one is empty users. So the first reset token has no users. The
Yeah,
other one has a user that doesn't match. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, cool.
What's kind of it would be so um how to say this? It feels a bit like when we have this structure
Mm-hmm.
that you should be able to generate some of these tests.
Oh, let's leave that as a cliffhanger for next time.
I think we should.
Okay, well, we can knock a few things off our to-do list. So let's,
Yep,
because we kind of added one to the to-do list that we didn't think about, which was this command thing.
yep.
Um,
We do like this at least.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yep.
Handle sign up. Did we actually do it in the end? No,
No, we
no
didn't
testing of it.
because
We just,
we're not
yeah.
doing
No,
sign
no,
up
no.
yet.
Do we want to test it then, or do we just want to throw that in the bin?
No, let's keep it there for I because we could probably write a test for the handler, but yeah, I don't know. Let's keep it there for now.
Or we could put it at the bottom of the list then, at least.
Yeah. Can we do? No, couldn't. Um,
Um, so okay, test. So we're going to do some more tests next week, yeah,
yeah.
and and then after that, we'll think about what's next with
Yes.
this actual site. Now that we're
Yep.
now that we're getting our kind of things under control a little bit.
Hmm.
All right. Well, I
Yeah,
think this
because
has
I
been
mean,
this has been a good long session actually, Eric, more than usual. So sorry,
there
yeah,
is
you want to wrap things up?
yeah, I'm just here's another somewhat perhaps maybe interesting thing that we could do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what's common for all of these three? You have no clue, so I'll answer that question for you,
I mean, there are many things that are coming. What are you talking about?
right? Um,
Okay, they eventually come from a form. Yeah.
yes. So basically, you could say that um, you could do something like this, right?
Well, I'm not sure what you're going to do with that though.
But you could have and then we could also get like you could get the form that you want to render from the query param or something,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think what I'd like to do. I mean, that could be one way of doing it for sure. The other the other thing that I was thinking about while we were doing it was that we want to make a list of the data that this thing requires,
Yep,
and that would be. I think to me that would be like the next step. Like,
sure. It was just it struck me that like there is there's a symmetry between the forms that we need to have and the commands that we execute,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
right? All of these commands, they need a form to drive them.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And maybe you could even describe that form in data so that we just have a generic, oh, I don't like that word, render form function.
Yeah, so you basically assuming if you have a form, if you have a form and it says reset token, then it looks up the form here.
Yeah.
So then it's not a commands thing anymore. It's more of it's more of a router actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What you could have had, say, like, say this one, it needs a
To me, like
email.
the handler should have a function and then it should have parameters. Or you're
Yeah.
saying parameters should be on the form as well. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, from this one needs email and token, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And from this, you can generate, like, from all this data
You
here,
can
you
generate the
can,
form itself. Yeah. Actually, that's quite
yeah,
nice. Yeah. Let's put that on the to-do list to generate
yeah,
the form from the commands or from the commands data. Yeah.
yeah.
Let's put a little. No, you can leave it where it is, and we can just put a to-do on it above
Yeah.
because we're not dealing with it yet, are we? But I really like where
Uh,
we're going with this. Actually, yeah. Maybe that's next week. We generate
yeah.
the forms. We just see
From,
the whole thing flow through. Yeah, I'm liking it.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that cliffhanger, I think that's more of an interesting cliffhanger than generative tests, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Eric. I think we'll end the stream,
Yes.
and we'll see everyone else next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Happy Easter for those who do such.
Right. Okay. That's very very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. What a pandering fucker you are. Or better end the stream. Shit. Okay.